if I can help falling in love with you.
Hey everybody, we are back, and by we, I mean myself and my little sidekick. We are back, and we have another video about weddings and how to survive being engaged and what to do after you are engaged. This video is a little bit different. It's like half vlog, and then half of it's just gonna be me sitting down and chatting with you guys like I am right now. I follow a ton of wedding Instagrams and pages and blogs and a bunch of stuff on the internet, and lately I've been seeing a lot of comments and a lot of people being completely stressed out about being engaged and planning a wedding, so much so that they're kind of just over the whole engagement and they are ready to be married. And while I can't wait to be married, I am trying to like soak up every second I have to be engaged, because I'm only planning on getting married once. This is my year to be engaged, and that's it. So I say have fun with it, have a good time, and enjoy it. So I have kind of done some reflecting on the time that I have been engaged. It's been about 7 months. I can't believe that we're under 5 months away from the big day. But I feel like even in that short period of time, I have learned a lot about how to plan a wedding, how to stay somewhat stress-free, and how to just enjoy this time, because it is awesome. So I'm gonna jump right into tips about you're engaged, now what? Well, as soon as this little ring like slides on your finger, you are consumed by everything wedding. And there's a lot of wedding things to think about, to talk about, to research, and it can be really overwhelming. So I think the first thing after you get engaged is just take a breath. And then this next thing may seem obvious to some people, but with how accessible and how easy the internet is, I feel like sometimes you have to put it out there that there are some people in your family, in your close circle of friends, that deserve a phone call about you being engaged, and that shouldn't just find out about it when they are scrolling through their Instagram feed and they see your beautiful ring selfie. So decide who those people are that are important to you, and pick up the phone and give them a call, tell them the good news, get excited with them, and then post your ring selfie. It's gonna be the first of many, I'll tell you that. Once you have announced your engagement and your feet have floated back down to earth and you are starting to think about planning your wedding, I would really think about your budget, what you're comfortable spending, just ballparking it, and then decide where you're willing to spend a little bit more and what is really important to you. I know Justin and I had a talk about our most important vendors, and we decided that photography was something that was super important to us, because after the wedding's over, pictures are all we're gonna really have. So I'm very lucky in that one of my best friends' sister is an amazing photographer, and ever since I found out she was doing weddings, I just fell in love with all of her work. And I knew before I even got engaged that when I did get married and when there was a wedding to plan, I wanted her to shoot the wedding. So one of the first phone calls I made to vendors was the photographer, and I basically just asked her, when are you available around the time I'm thinking that we want to get married? And so I got like 3 or 4 dates from her about her availability, and then when I went on to find our venue, I kind of saw which ones they had in common, and that's how I came up with our wedding date. That kind of goes into my last and final tip for I'm engaged, now what? And that is find a venue. And I will be completely transparent and just tell you that this was my absolute least favorite part of the entire wedding process so far. I think that for us, we just had a really hard time figuring out where we wanted to get married. We looked in a couple states, we looked at a whole bunch of different types of venues, and for me, it just really stressed me out. I mean, venues are where most of your money is spent. It's where your whole wedding takes place, so you want the field to be right. There's lots of restrictions and rules and contracts, and they can just be really scary. So for me, I would say find a venue, get it out of the way, because after you find your venue, things just kind of have a way of falling into place. So fun fact, I did not find our wedding venue. Justin found our wedding venue, and I'm pretty sure when he found it, I was on the floor like having a tantrum about not having a venue. So good things happen when you least expect it. Don't give up. Take a deep breath. You will find it. It will be perfect. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into how to survive, because planning a wedding and having a real life at the same time, like a job and family and friends and a fiance, is not for the faint of heart, and it takes a lot of balance and it can be tough. It can be tough on you, it can be tough on your significant other. So it's important to kind of take a breath every once in a while and keep yourself in check. So I've made a list of a couple things that I think are helpful. I've also vlogged some of these things as I'm doing them throughout the week, just so you know that I actually do them and I'm not just kind of like telling you what I think you should do. I really do try and like stick to these things and practice them in my everyday life, and I really feel like they're helping. So the first thing is to date your fiance. And you're like, we go on dates all the time. Okay, I get it. Taking your fiance to the coffee shop, buying him a latte, and then interrogating him about hydrangeas and lilies, that's not a date. Doesn't count. We are trying to just connect with each other and push all the wedding stuff, push the work day, put down our cell phones, and spend time with each other. So going on dates is something that Justin and I really try to make time for during the week. I'm gonna be honest and say that sometimes our date nights are spent right here on the couch with like some Mad Libs or with a board game or with some dinner. Sometimes we catch up on our Netflix or whatever. So they're not always like these big, extravagant, dressed up dates. We did go on one date last weekend. I did vlog it, so I'm gonna insert that right now for y'all to watch. All right, it is Sunday and it is date day, and normally on Sundays it's like our day of rest and our day to like go grocery shopping and clean up the apartment and just like get our lives in order before we head to work on Mondays. But it's a special weekend because tomorrow we don't have school, so we can
MLK!
We can kind of have more of a fun day today and then our get back on track day tomorrow. We're gonna go to brunch because I feel like we never go to brunch because, like I said, on Sundays we just don't do stuff like that. So we are gonna go check out the mall, and then we might even go check out a new brewery. Alright, I'm about to brag for a minute because I just got us from our apartment to Tupelo Honey with no GPS. Somebody doubted me the entire way, but I did. We just finished a glorious breakfast at Tupelo Honey and I'm so full, and so we have kind of reworked the plan a little bit. Instead of going to the mall, we're gonna go home and we're gonna change into some comfy clothes and we are going to watch Stranger Things. I think we're gonna finish Stranger Things.
Whoa.
Which is really sad.
Whoa.
Because it doesn't come out now for like months. Date day is continuing. We are here on the couch watching Stranger Things and relaxing, and it's so good. It's so good.
Mike never gave up on Elle.
Are you ever gonna give up on me?
353 days.
Be like Mike. Next up is do things for you. I know that sounds weird because you're planning this wedding and the whole wedding is about you, but as you're planning it in that moment, it is not about you and it's really stressful. So it's important to do things as you're planning the wedding that make you happy and that make you feel like you're meeting your own needs. So I really like to take baths. I'm all about a good face mask. I love to cook. I recently joined Orange Theory, which has been so awesome. I love it, but I'm not gonna talk about that too much right now because there will be another video about that later. So bottom line, do things for you, take care of yourself. One thing I will say, I forgot about this. One thing that I do, that I just started doing, is having a morning routine. I used to be somebody who woke up super early, like got ready, grabbed a granola bar, went to work, started working. And I don't know why one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make breakfast for myself. I'm gonna go into work a little bit later. And I love it. It's like my favorite part of the whole day. And I still wake up early. I still get to work in plenty of time to get what I need to do done. But I just really take that hour, that 45 minutes to like wake up, see how I'm feeling, and give myself some time. And I find that after I have that little morning to myself, when I get to work, I'm much more willing to like help other people out because I've already taken care of myself. So that's something that I do pretty much every morning now, and I vlogged a little bit of that too so you guys can see it. Breakfast is the same literally every morning because I love it. It is a poached egg on toast with a little bit of cheese. This is my favorite. Dave's Killer Bread. Super yummy. Okay, so I poach the egg, and there are 2 secrets to poached eggs. I know it seems like the easiest thing ever. So there's 2 secrets. One is that you have to cook it for 4 minutes after the water is already boiling. And the second one, which is really weird but I promise it works, is you add a little tiny bit of vinegar into your water. You don't even taste it, but it helps keep the egg like together instead of totally separating and getting all over the place. So I just put in a little tiny drop, and then we're gonna let it come to a boil. I should probably mention, I just thought of this. If I was watching a video about morning routines and somebody didn't drink coffee, I would be like, what? I should mention to you that it's Friday, and Friday are Starbucks days. So here I have a venti flat white. That's the size of my head. So don't worry, I am drinking lots of coffee. Usually I do make it at home, but today I'm treating myself. The next one I got from Justin. He likes to say, be where your feet are. And for me, that just means being present in whatever you're doing. It's so easy to think about the wedding all the time. My struggle lately has been wedding shoes. I cannot find a pair that I love anywhere. I found a pair on Pinterest finally, and they just don't exist in the world anymore. And so I'm constantly thinking about these shoes and what other shoes can I find that look like these shoes, and I'm always thinking about it. And one day I was like, okay, stop. You're teaching kindergarten, you're not gonna find those shoes right now. Or like you're out to dinner, it's not gonna help you to think about that right now. So just take a breath and try to push it back into your mind for the time being and really focus on what you're doing and doing a good job at it. Because I think when we are crowding our brain with a bunch of thoughts about other things, we're not very good at what we're doing. So I have really been trying to take a breath, focus on what I'm doing, do a great job at it, and then when I'm done, I can hunt the corners of the internet for those silver sparkly Zara flats. If you find them, let me know, because I will pay $1 million for them. All right, it's almost 8 o'clock, which is way later than I ever get to school, but I decided to just really take the time and like make myself breakfast, and you saw. So right now I'm at school, clearly. And so while I'm here for the next 8 hours, this is where I'm going to be focused, and I'm not going to be worrying about the flowers that I didn't order or the wine menu that I haven't finalized or anything like that. I'm going to worry about being here and being a teacher and just giving my kiddos what they need. So, Including family and friends is always kind of a touchy subject with people because I think a lot of opinions are really intimidating. And when you are in charge of planning a wedding and making decisions, of course you're thinking about yourself and what you like, but you really want to try and make everybody happy. And no matter what you do, I can tell you that you won't make everybody happy. And so my advice for this is to make yourself happy and to think a lot about what you want before you go and you ask other people their opinions. I try really hard to research what I like and what I want, and I'll get a couple options and a couple different things, and then I'll talk to my friends or my family and I'll say, what do you like? What do you think about these things? And that way they can see what I like and give me a reaction. Because if you just say, hey, what flowers do you like? Chances are people are going to tell you what they like. And what they like is probably not what you like. So figure out what you want and then talk to them about it. But make sure you include them because it's fun and they want to do this with you. I know a lot of brides like to keep a lot of wedding details on the hush hush, and they want to keep them as like this big surprise. You know, when the reception doors open, it's like, ooh. And I think that that's really fun, but I also think there's something to be said for including people and giving them like a little sneak peek or like a little in on the wedding. And I don't think that that takes away at all from their reaction on the day. There's something special about like being a VIP, you know what I mean? Getting the lowdown, getting the deets, and it makes people feel important and it makes them feel valued and like their opinion matters and that you really want them as part of your day. So I'm not saying like show everybody in the whole world your wedding dress to like include them in your wedding, but you know, show them what you can, show them what you want. My last piece of advice when you're planning your wedding and when you're trying to survive engagement and enjoy it and have fun is when you get overwhelmed and when you're not having fun anymore, number one, take a break, take a breather. It will be there in a day or in a couple of days. And the second thing is do what you want to do. This is your wedding, this is your day, and you're the one that has to leave at the end of the night and say, that was the best day ever. And as long as you have a great time and as long as you are happy and beaming, which you will be because it's your wedding day, people are going to have the best day ever with you because they just feel that energy and that happiness and that joy that you are like pouring out of your body. So, I mean, do what you want to do. If you don't know what you want to do, call your mom because chances are she'll know what to do. She knows you the best. My mom, I call her, not even joking, probably 3 times a day. Not always about wedding stuff, but they just have a way of like calming you down, reassuring you, and kind of getting you back on the path that you want to be on. So do you and call your mama. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope you'll take a second and give it a thumbs up. And also subscribe to my channel. I do post videos. I try to post videos every Sunday. Life is crazy and sometimes gets in the way of that, but I do my best to stay consistent. So subscribe, share it, tell all your friends, shout it from the rooftop, especially if you are another bride and you're planning a wedding. Let's do it together.